8 real struggles of being highly intelligent. Being highly intelligent sounds like a blessing, doesn't it? People assume your life is easier, that you glide through problems effortlessly and succeed without breaking a sweat. Society celebrates intelligence, placing those with gifted minds on pedestals. But the truth is far more complex and often more painful than most people realize. Intelligence comes with its own silent struggles, hidden battles that play out in the quiet moments of your mind. Psychology shows that many intelligent people face emotional, social, and even existential challenges that others rarely understand. These aren't weaknesses or failures. They're the natural consequences of experiencing the world with greater depth and intensity. Here are 8 real struggles of being a highly intelligent person, struggles that deserve recognition and compassion. The first struggle is that you overthink everything, and I mean everything. Your mind is like a machine that never powers down. It's constantly running, analyzing, processing. You don't just hear words, you dissect them, searching for hidden meanings and underlying intentions. You don't just experience situations, you analyze them from every conceivable angle. Even your own emotions don't escape this relentless scrutiny. While others move on easily from a conversation or decision, you find yourself replaying every possibility in your head. What if I had said this instead? What did they really mean by that? Could things have gone differently? It's exhausting, and it makes even simple choices feel monumental. Psychologists call this analysis paralysis, a state where too much thinking actually makes decisions harder instead of easier. Your brilliant mind, the very thing that helps you solve complex problems, becomes a maze you can't escape. The irony is painful. What should be your greatest strength sometimes feels like your heaviest burden. The second struggle is that you struggle to connect with people on a meaningful level. You crave deep, substantial conversations that explore ideas, question assumptions, and dive beneath the surface. Small talk feels like torture. You don't want to discuss the weather or weekend plans. You want to explore philosophy, dissect psychology, debate abstract ideas, and understand what makes people truly tick. But here's the difficult reality. Most people don't want to dive into these depths over lunch or at social gatherings. They're content with surface-level interactions, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that you need more. This fundamental difference can leave you feeling isolated or misunderstood, even when you're surrounded by people. You might find yourself nodding along to conversations that bore you, feeling like an outsider in your own life. The loneliness of being intellectually different is real, and it cuts deep. You're searching for your tribe, for people who speak your language, and that search can feel endless. The third struggle is that you're too aware of everything around you. Intelligent people often notice patterns, subtle behaviors, and emotional undercurrents that others completely miss. You pick up on the micro expressions that flash across someone's face. You detect the slight change in someone's tone that signals something's wrong. You see the inconsistencies in people's stories. While this heightened awareness can be incredibly useful in navigating life, it also makes you more sensitive to negativity, dishonesty, and manipulation. You can't unsee what you've seen or unknow what you've figured out. It's like your brain has a built-in detector for inauthenticity, and it's always on. You see every hidden motive, every political game, every instance of fakeness. And that can be absolutely exhausting. Sometimes you just want to experience things simply, without your mind automatically deconstructing everything. But that's not how your brain works, and you can't turn it off. The fourth struggle is that you feel a constant, crushing pressure to succeed. People expect you to always perform perfectly, to never stumble, to have all the answers. You've been labeled the smart one for so long that it's become your entire identity. One mistake, one moment of not knowing something, and suddenly you hear those cutting words, "I thought you were smart." This relentless pressure builds anxiety and an overwhelming fear of failure. You start second-guessing yourself, even in areas where you're genuinely competent. Psychologists call this imposter syndrome. The persistent feeling that you're a fraud who somehow fooled everyone into thinking you're intelligent. Despite all evidence to the contrary, you feel like you're just one mistake away from being exposed. The weight of expectations, both from others and from yourself, becomes almost unbearable. You're not allowed to be human, to make mistakes, to have off days. And that's a lonely, frightening place to exist. The fifth struggle is that you get bored easily, almost painfully so. Your brain craves challenge, novelty, and complexity. It's hungry for problems to solve, puzzles to unravel, and new concepts to master. Routine tasks or repetitive conversations can feel like torture. Your mind starts to wander, seeking stimulation anywhere it can find it. Without proper mental stimulation, you might zone out during meetings, procrastinate on straightforward tasks, or lose motivation entirely. And here's what people don't understand. It's not because you're lazy or irresponsible. It's because your brain needs more complexity to stay engaged. Simple tasks don't activate the parts of your mind that thrive on challenge. You need intellectual nutrition, and when you don't get it, you wither. Finding ways to keep yourself engaged while still handling life's necessary mundane tasks becomes a constant balancing act. The sixth struggle is that you struggle with perfectionism in a way that's almost self-destructive. You set impossibly high standards for yourself, standards that would make most people give up before they even started. Every project, every task, every interaction has to meet these sky-high expectations. Psychology calls this maladaptive perfectionism, the belief that anything less than perfect is complete failure. There's no middle ground in your mind. You're either excellent or you're worthless. This all-or-nothing thinking is incredibly damaging. This often leads to burnout, deep frustration, and the soul-crushing feeling of never being good enough, no matter what you accomplish. You could achieve something remarkable, and your first thought is about how it could have been better. You can't celebrate your victories because you're too focused on the imperfections only you can see. The seventh struggle is that you question everything, even yourself, especially yourself. You don't accept things at face value. You question authority figures, long-held traditions, societal norms, and even your own thoughts and beliefs. Nothing is sacred, everything deserves scrutiny. This deep curiosity and critical thinking drives innovation and progress. The world needs people who ask why and what if. But this constant questioning can also make you feel profoundly disconnected from people who prefer simple answers and clear-cut rules. While others find comfort in certainty, you're comfortable with ambiguity and complexity. This can make relationships difficult. People might see you as contrary or difficult when you're simply trying to understand things more deeply. Your need to question everything can exhaust both you and those around you. The eighth and perhaps most emotionally draining struggle is that you feel emotionally heavy, weighed down by feelings that aren't even your own. Highly intelligent people are often highly empathetic. You don't just understand other people's pain intellectually, you feel it viscerally. You absorb other people's suffering, understand their struggles with painful clarity, and carry emotional weight that isn't even yours to bear. You can't help it. Your mind's ability to see patterns and understand complexity extends to human emotions. You pick up on what people are feeling, sometimes even before they do. Psychologists call this emotional contagion, the phenomenon where you take on the emotions of others without realizing it. You walk into a room and immediately sense the tension. You talk to a friend and leave feeling drained because you've absorbed their stress. It's like being an emotional sponge, and it's exhausting. Being highly intelligent isn't about having all the answers or living an easy life. It's about seeing the world in layers that others can't perceive. It's about experiencing everything more deeply, more intensely, more completely. But that awareness can be lonely, confusing, and even painful. If this resonates with you, if these words feel personal and true, I want you to know something important. Your mind is not a curse. Yes, it brings challenges. Yes, it makes life more complicated. But it's also a rare and precious gift. Your ability to think deeply, to question boldly, to feel intensely. These are beautiful qualities in a world that often settles for superficiality. What you need isn't to change who you are. What you need is balance, healthy boundaries, and the right people around you, people who appreciate your depth and match your intensity. You're not too much, you're not broken. You're not alone in these struggles. You just think deeper, feel more, and see further than most. And while that comes with real challenges, it also means you have the potential to understand life, to create beauty, to solve problems, and to connect with others in ways that are truly extraordinary. Embrace your beautiful, complicated mind. Learn to work with it, not against it. Find your people, set your boundaries, and remember that your intelligence, with all its struggles, is also your superpower. You're exactly who you're supposed to be,